Blake Griffin, 20 and 19 boards. The Cavs ended their series with the Celtics 101-93. LeBron led the way, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and a bunch of assists, 8 assists. In the win, Kevin Love dislocated his shoulder. It's a separation, might be dislocated. Head coach David Blatt was asked afterwards what his team will do if Love is seriously injured.
If it's a long-term thing, then obviously, number one, other guys are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to make up a lot of ground without him like we did tonight. And I thought we did that admirably.
A note on LeBron, it was the 6th time that he has swept a best-of-7 series. Only players in NBA history with more sweeps, Tim Duncan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, both have 8. Wizards and Raptors, they are at the half. Washington all over Toronto, 66-50, on the verge of a series sweep. Later tonight, of course, is the Rockets trying to close out the Mavs at 9 o'clock. Over to the ice, the Wild handle the Blues 4-1. They take that series 4-2. Canadiens on the road looking to end their series. Second intermission, Montreal up 1-0. Quick injury update, Mike Conley going to miss Game 4 for the Grizz on Monday. A face injury he suffered on Saturday. I'm Keith Irizarry. This is NBC Sports Radio and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Dave Murs. This afternoon, sunny and breezy, 73. Tonight, clear and dry as winds diminish, 55. Tomorrow, we get some sunshine Monday. Bit of a gusty northeast wind warms us up to 85. Monday evening, clear, 58. By Tuesday, some sun, a warmer day with less breeze, a high back up to 90. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
Right on, team. What's up? This is Robert Porter with the Talent Show. And right now we got with us today Celeste, a local band that's been working really hard to get out there. And they're going to bounce off today. These guys are my friends, and I'd like to introduce you. Please introduce yourself, Mike, and head on down.
Eagle Talon, vocals.
Elano played keyboards and produce the music and make the beats.
I'm Owl on guitars.
Right on. Cool names, cool names. Now, how long have you guys been involved in music? Pretty much the whole time I've known you.
Yeah, many years. Ever since our ancestors introduced us and gave us that gift, and
yeah, we've been currently working on this project since about 2011, but we've all been pretty involved with the music, different music projects prior to that for many years.
Yeah, Danny, you were in a band called Morning Wood, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Right on. That was a local in San Bernardino, pretty big, right?
It was huge for a little bit, and then, like all things.
And your other band member just sat down. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name's Gypsy, and I'm a female vocalist in Celeste.
Right on, right on. Now tell us how Celeste came about.
Well, we originally started, me and this guy had been, had ideas for collaborating on several music projects for a long time. We had many musical interests in common. And then finally, in early 2011, he was kind of bedridden from an accident that took place in his life. And I was kind of free during the time, too. And we just started writing music together. We were sharing lots of similar emotions and things like that at the time, so it seemed to just sprawl from there. And then we got multiple artists and Owl involved with turning it into a full-blown music project within a year's time.
Now, you guys done pretty good. I seen a video, and what was that one called?
Dominatrix.
Yeah. You were wearing like a ball in your mouth or something? Or?
It's about an unhealthy relationship you've been involved with. It's a metaphor. You don't take it perceiving, as it is, but it's a metaphor of knowing when you want in a relationship and you're tied, you're bound, and you wish you could touch to reach that loved one, but it just never happens.
Interesting. Now, what gave you the idea for that song? Past relationships, maybe?
Yeah.
Right on. Would you like to say anything? You've been here before, correct?
Yes, I have.
You're part of another band, right?
Mystic Mountain.
Yes, and your mom's been here twice. I love her. She's great.
Thank you. Well, I get my inspiration from my mom, and I've been doing music with her since I was, 7, actually. So I'm really excited about this new project, to be in this band and to branch out and do something different besides folk rock. So this is more of a techno dance, influence, which I absolutely love. As part of an influence too in my life, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
So what is electronic music?
Well, music that's driven by drum machines and synthesizers. We're very prominent with the use of old 1980s drum samples, analog synthesizers. I played the keyboards. He plays keyboards. It's very much a part of our sound. Is synthesizers.
We use the old 70s type of keyboards, all analog, not digital.
It's kind of amazing because I've been going through late 1960s, 70s music, and it seems like everyone has a little keyboard in there, like the Doors style. I dig it. Now, you guys have some music for us, or?
Yes.
Yeah, we got a few tracks lined up for you guys. So.
Right on. What's the first track? Could you tell us a little bit about it?
The first track is called Evolve, and you talk about.
Yeah, Evolve. It's about the conscious evolution, something that's naturally happening, a phenomena between us all right now.
Yeah, we're talking about the paradigm shift and the expansion of consciousness that's occurring around the world right now, too.
Right on. Well, let's listen to that. Could you hit that? Right on, Joe. Thanks. Someone's got to call in. That's the thing.
Say hey, the next phone call.
All right, I'll ask him.
Even though it's
Hello, this is a talent show, and we're back here with my good friends and these people I've known for almost 10 years now, and it's incredible. Me and Mike, we worked archaeology together, and did you have fun doing that?
Oh, Indiana Rob, I had so much fun. You were my brother for many years, and we're still carrying on. We're still digging.
We dug a lot of holes.
We're digging for the truth now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are. And Danny over there is another dirt digger, but he does soil teching.
Yes,
and
soils engineering. Yeah,
right
to be
on,
exact. Yeah.
What's your job, brother?
I do music stuff, and I also do environmental consulting too. So I'm involved with the earth just as much as you guys are
And
too.
we have a teacher in the house, right?
That's right.
So we have a really cool, good crew here. Now, I want to let everyone know that there's a call-in line if you wanted to call in and ask them a question. The call-in line is 1-888-909-1050. So, do you guys make a lot of money in music?
Depends the avenue of music. Yeah.
I think the wealth that we find is playing music.
Like
and being able
being
to
part of it.
Yeah, being able and being thankful to live another day, and able to like open your diary, and it's just a wonderful thing. There's nothing more valuable than that.
What would you, if you knew kids out there that really wanted to maybe create their own band or start their own music, any suggestions you could give to them?
I would suggest to follow their elders, their family, and first find values that they really structure and want to cherish, and that's a huge starting point. And then pick up any instrument. You can play any instrument. It's just up to you. Like my father, he gave me the gift to say, you can do whatever you want to do. You got to believe and have the soul and then the strength within yourself.
Now, Danny, when did you start playing the guitar?
Oh man, it was about 13. Yeah,
And
about 13
when I
years
spoke
old.
with your father, he said he gave you a Santana album to start, or?
Oh well, he gave me a challenge actually. He said, "Hey, if you could play Europa by Santana, I'll buy you a guitar."
Well, what a challenge!
And I was like, "Okay, let's do this." And that's. I was a drummer before a guitar player, and I fell in love with guitar at about 13, 14 years old, and it just went from there, man. I never put it down. And I still play drums too actively, but not professionally, but I love rhythm.
And your song is the theme song to our show, so that helps out.
Well, thanks to you, yeah, it does.
Well,
Yeah.
it's great music, great music. So, you guys have another song coming up here. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the next song, I guess speaks for itself, but it's this next song draws more from our different influences that we, especially me and Eagle here, found common bonds towards music of Depeche Mode and electronic rock and things like that. So,
what's the song called?
Pornographic.
Right on. So could you throw that one on? Thanks, Joe.
A white house, a white room, the
Right on. We're back here with the talent show and the band Electronic Celeste. Now, could you tell? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, we have a caller in for the band Celeste. Could you put him through? Who is this? Hello, caller. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
And do you have a question for Celeste?
Yes.
We have a caller in for the band Celeste. They're listening to their radio. Put him through. Who is this?
I represent the Ambient Light.
Oh, Ambient
Yeah, I'm
Light.
doing good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Could you turn
Yes,
your
I want to
radio
know
off?
what the next step is for Celeste and what you plan on doing with the record, and is it available anywhere to download or to buy?
Okay.
Yes, we're giving our album for free. If you go to C3L3ST3.com, we'll definitely channel that on over. And if you just hit us up with your email, we'll send you all the love in the world.
Yeah, sign up on C3L3ST3.com to our mailing list on the main page, and we'll give you away our 10-track album for free. So.
Well, that's excellent. Right on. Well, thank you, caller, so much for calling in and asking that. We appreciate it. Do you have any other questions, or?
No, just wanted to see where the music was available.
Cool, cool. May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, my name is Steve.
Excellent, actually. Thank you so much, and please feel free to call in next week. Right on.
All right, thank
Thanks for calling, Steve. Love you.
Thank you,
No
Steve.
problem, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
So tell us a little bit about the name Celeste.
Celeste is like, you know, when people talk about Mother Earth, I believe in who was the mother that gave birth to Mother Earth. So there is this grand mother out there, and I've always been a stargazer. And so, like, mysteriously looking to the mysticism and seeing how beautiful it was every night. And I just had to give props to mothers, you know, strong women.
That's great, dude. And if you give props to mothers, you're guaranteed
I
to
love
do
my
well.
mom.
Yes.
Love you, Mom.
I love you, Mom, too. We have a mom here, and she brought her beautiful daughter here.
Yes.
Tell the people what it takes to be a mom and be in a band and be a teacher.
Well, I multitask every day, all the time, and the band saw that today. But I just want to say my name's Gypsy for a reason, because my great-grandmother grew up in Austria and sang and danced on the street corners of Vienna, and was stolen by the gypsies and was raised by them, actually. And she was kidnapped, and finally they found her about 3 years later. And then she moved to the United States, and she was in a traveling, musician band. So I have a lot of heritage with musicians and music as well. So starting with my great-grandmother to my grandmother, who was in the Ina Ray Hutton band and played the stand-up bass as a female bass player. So,
well, that's a really cool story. For 3 years she was missing, but then was found?
Yes, and actually when they came to get her, she didn't want to go because they had created a family environment, and she was making a lot of money for them, so they didn't want to give her up. And she really didn't want to leave either.
Interesting. And that affected her for the rest of her life, huh?
And it's an influence in my family as far as myself, my mother, who is a great influence in, music, and then now my daughter, who I definitely feel like I'm influencing too.
So you guys have another song coming up here, right? Could you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, the next song is Dominatrix. This is actually the song that we have featured right now on YouTube, on our YouTube page, and on our main page of our website, C3L3ST3.com. And you want to say a little bit about the song's meaning? I guess
An unhealthy relationship that you're just bound to. So,
And it's rated R as well.
this is more of a down-tempo song, but it's a little more heavier than
it's a
lot of our other
metaphor.
stuff too.
It's
so.
a metaphor. So
This is more our ventures into industrial kind of music and things like that too, as well. So.
exactly.
Right on. Well, Joe, can we play Dominatrix?
There's something about the way you have me tied up. You kind of like it. I wish I could touch. I can't resist. You pay the consequences. If pain is my consequence, it'll be worth it. I'm left begging. You never grant my wish. Yet you still know. Tease you to please you. 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 And crack the whip. Walk all over you. And you like it. And you like it. Yes, you like it. Tease you to please you. And I like it. Tease you to please you. Yes, I like it. Tease you
Hello, we're back here with the electronic band Celeste in the Talent Show, and we wanted to get into a little bit with what they're going to do in the future. So, Mike, what's going on in the future with your band Celeste?
We're gonna set up right now a West Coast tour and preparations for Europa to go see my son and all of our family out there, and yeah, just keep it going. Staying motivated, you know.
Mm-hmm. And would you like to all say something before we go off the air?
I'm just privileged and honored to be part of Celeste. Thank you.
Yeah, check us out again on the web, www.c3l3st3.com. Also check us out on Twitter and Instagram at c3l3st3music. And yeah, we look forward to getting the business on some shows here pretty soon. So.
Yeah, shout out to Danny Alcaraz that made all this happen too, and Robert Porter, and
thank you,
thanks
Robert.
to our
Absolutely.
Love you, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks, my boss.
thanks to
Danny.
all our support,
Danny,
our friends and family.
Thank you, good people. Thank you, Inland Empire.
Yeah,
and supportive. Thank you, Lozano family. All of our families.
all of our families.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right on. Well, we're glad to have you on there, and we hope to have you on again. Joe, could we hit that next song? All right. Hey people, we're back here with Elmo Green Meds and the start of the Cannabis Corner. But before we do that, I'd like to mention our new sponsor, Auto Sound of San Bernardino, located on 299 Southeast Street, San Bernardino, California, 92401. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The phone number is 909-384-9661 or 909-888-1137 for all your stereo and video system needs. If you mention KCA Radio or Danny Alcarez, you will receive an extra 10% off. Visit their website at autosoundofsb.com and you will be glad you did. Thank you, Renee of Auto Sound of San Bernardino from the Alcarez Angel Baby Sunday block. All right, we're back here with Elmo Green Meds, and last week we left off on studying a little bit of the legalities of medical cannabis in San Bernardino.
Yes.
And today we're going to focus a bit on two proposals that were entered into the city that were based on cannabis and cannabis-related issues. Could you explain those a little bit, Mr. Green Meds?
Well, on Monday, 4/20, Carmel Rowe, she submitted her application for a, what's it called? The initiative process. I'm trying to find what her, what it's called here. You got me off here. Notice of intent to circulate a petition for the San Bernardino City Medical Cannabis Regulation and Limitation Act. That's what it's called. And it regulates dispensaries. That's really about it, though. Whereas mine that I filed on Thursday, the 23rd, that was Jesse's birthday, did it in memory of him. It creates a commission to look through how to regulate all areas of this industry. For instance, if Carmel's proposal. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have smoked up a little bit before coming in. I get slowed down. If Carmel's proposal were to be accepted, things like hash makers, growers, processors,
they wouldn't be protected.
Well, they would still fall under the definition of a dispensary, and there's only a limited number of dispensaries in hers also. So it doesn't really help anyone except for somebody trying to set up a storefront.
Okay, but is there any room for both proposals enacted together? Is that possible? Or could we take the best from both proposals and
that's a possibility, because like whereas mine creates a commission that's set up to regulate different areas, and it could be easy to say, well, Carmel's regulations for access points are good, so we could use those to regulate the access points. But what about a processor or you know, a grow facility, somebody that's not trying to be a storefront?
Interesting. So like there are good parts of both, and as I read through it, I saw some numbers that were very, very high, including $10,000. But then when I looked at a proposal that they had over there in Upland, their costs were somewhere of $75,000.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. How are people going to get the money to even start these things in the first place?
The fees are quite high, and one of the good things with Carmel's is that she has in there that the first year fees are $5,000,
which is pretty low compared to what Upland was talking about.
And then the fees increase by the number of members that your collective has.
So if you had a certain amount, you'd pay this. But if you have more than that, you'd pay a little more.
Yeah, and that's a reasonable thing. You know.
I thought that was very interesting. And at least it puts a number on what's going on there, like so people can get an idea.
Yes.
Because you'd have to save up that amount of money or at least find a sponsor to be able to start a dispensary, right?
Yes. Well, that becomes the issue with a lot of these proposals. Like, say, for instance, Upland, that's written by people that have the money to basically pay that licensing fee, and they're basically using that money to wave in front of the city saying, look, if you regulate us, you will get, this huge amount of money. Because they have it to give the city because they're making that money off of their dispensary that they already have.
So the city is fighting this, and then in the end, they'll end up making money?
Yeah, it's an issue that goes around.
Very, very interesting. All right. So, all right. Well, you turned your Jesse Act in on April 23rd, my birthday, and your son's birthday.
I don't think that's a coincidence by any chance either.
Very
I don't
interesting.
believe in coincidences.
Well, could you tell us a little bit about what you turned in and the process of turning it in?
Basically went to the city clerk's office. And
Where's that located?
It's City Hall, second floor.
Okay, but run by Gigi Hanna.
Yes. I didn't get to speak to her, though. And it's a $200 filing fee to register it with the city, and it goes on to the city attorney's office to get a title summary and a ballot title and so on and so forth. This is going to take the next 25, 30 days or so to get everything prepared.
To go through the process inside the city.
Yes.
Okay, so when you spoke to the city attorney last week, did you feel that cannabis has a possibility in the future of San Bernardino?
It seems like pretty much everyone that I talk to understands that there's more than a possibility of cannabis having a future in San Bernardino, that it's it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Most people realize this, but they have had reservations about acting on it. People are afraid of this. They don't want to.
It's been so much associated with criminal activity because it's been forced that way that it tends to get a bad rap.
It's had a bad rap. There's been a lot of negative propaganda put out there for years, and people, even just every day out on the street when I'm in the community, that I get so many people that are, I believe in what you're doing and I stand behind your cause, but I can't publicly support you. I'm afraid I'll lose my funding, or I'm afraid I'll be ostracized from my, community or my friends and family.
That's a form of discrimination for those people. Even having their name mentioned next to Cannabis Corner on an advertisement bothers some people, and that's just because they don't understand it.
Because of the negative stereotypes that have been associated with this for so long, and these stereotypes are only enforced and propagated to keep cannabis down and illegal.
So basically, so someone can make money off of it, but it's just not being made off the people who use it, right? It's being made off the people who enforce the laws.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man. We have to do something about that. That's why we come here and have Cannabis Corner, and we want to talk about these city issues and try to bring them out in the open so they're not just in the back rooms or in the corners or swept under the rug. I'm tired of it.
Well, that's, one of the things that I say a lot of times when you see me in public. I've smoked in the parking lot before you've seen me.
You're high right now, Elmo?
Well,
Greenwood?
no, it's wearing off because last time I smoked was at 4 o'clock when I was out in the parking lot, and it's wearing off now.
I thought you'd be all messed up if you smoked. You can act normal.
Well, it eases my anxiety. I'm able to keep trains of thought.
You don't feel like dizzy right now? You're not fall out of your chair or anything?
No, heck no.
All right, you don't feel so hungry you're gonna leave right now and
I
eat
see you're playing the
eat a whole
stereotypes on me. Nope, not at all.
Well, I'm glad that's not the case because you act like an actual very intelligent individual when you do come on the show and when you are at the city meetings, and I appreciate what you do for medical cannabis because I believe it could save people, especially veterans with PTSD.
That's one of my main things, is that I believe that this is a great alternative to suicide, and that's,
absolutely,
that's the big thing right there, is that if one person can be saved by this medication, no matter what taxes, no matter how many jobs, no matter what else that could be benefited, if it could save one life, then it's all worth it.
I wish my dad would have used cannabis before he decided to take his own life. He started talking about it, and like he couldn't get a hold of it, and it makes me sad, dude, that he couldn't get the medicine that he wanted, and he fought for this country and had to deal with all that stuff. That he was better for a while, but then the memories came back. He started talking about it. I'm wondering if cannabis could have saved his life, and he was afraid to look bad or whatever.
That becomes a lot of the issue. People are afraid, to use this, to be associated with it, to support it, just because of negative stereotypes that are based all on lies.
Well, as we keep studying, and we will, I noticed on the page you posted something about cannabis curing cancer.
Oh, yeah.
That's very interesting to me. Now, is it possible that we could cure leukemia with cannabis?
Well, I'm not too sure about leukemia, but this specific study shows how THC has the ability to cause abnormal cells to kill themselves.
So it
so
selectively takes away the bad and leaves the good, or?
Pretty much.
Interesting.
Like they used to say when I was a kid, smoke pot and it kills brain cells. But they left out the part it only kills the weak, diseased, cancerous brain cells, which will allow new ones to grow in their place.
And most people have no idea of that. They just think if you smoke weed, you're dumb.
Pretty much. That's it. That's the stereotype.
And I'll be honest with you people out there. A lot of the people I know that have jobs and careers smoke medical cannabis legally, and they just hide it. They sweep it under the rug because they are afraid of the stereotypes, and that's just not right. If you're successful, you should be able to say why you're successful, and if cannabis is a part of that, then it's a part of it. That's just the way it is. And I wish we could go to that next level where we could stop blaming people for using a drug that does inebriate you sometimes, but some people it helps at an extreme level that it's worth that inebriation.
Exactly. People get inebriated off of caffeine.
Yeah.
The simplest of things that we have, sugar, fat. We've pushed these types of things into our consciousness to the point of we don't even think of them as drugs anymore. They're chemicals.
And they're killing our kids. Sugar is killing our kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't look at that. I mean, fast food is making our kids less intelligent, but they don't look at that. It's just weird to me that all these other things that we do every day, they just don't pay attention to. But when it comes to something that's helping people, but since it's been propagandized for over 70 years or whatever, they still think it's totally useless as a Schedule I drug, but it's not totally useless.
Exactly.
I saw the fact that my father was around for a long time after Vietnam, being wounded there because he used cannabis for a little bit to help himself get better. Now, if he was self-medicating, I don't know. But what I do know is that I wish he could have got his medical cannabis card today. Now, we have 1 minute left. Would you like to say anything before we leave, Mr. Elmo Green Meds?
Wow. I'm just, glad to be out, glad to be here, glad to be speaking out about cannabis. And you could always reach me on Facebook, just Elmo Green Meds or William Chiocci. Both should come up.
Cannabis, San Bernardino Cannabis Reform page, is that?
That's the group that I run, and a few other pages for vets, for meds, that's specifically for veterans.
And you quite often post on I Love San Bernardino as well.
Yes.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Elmo Green Meds, and we'll have you back next week for Cannabis Corner. We love it.
Thank you.
Right on, Joe. Hit it.
You're
on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m. The station that leaves no listener behind.
This is your NBC Sports Radio update.
Lob City ain't going anywhere. I'm Keith Irizarry. The Clippers held tough and knocked off the Spurs 114-103. Austin Rivers provided a big spark off the bench with a big 16 points in 17 minutes. Blake Griffin, 20 and 19.